Good morning, friends. Today we are going to discuss TGPSC PGP exam paper 2 chemistry, and today topic is chemistry of elements. Okay, complete syllabus we'll see. So before going to uh, complete our portion, we are giving a topic wise one by one according to given schedules. So okay, daily I am going to post one video. So don't forget to subscribe my channel and please follow my channel. Thank you. Without wasting our time, we'll start the class. Clear? See, all of you concentrate here. Yeah, see this? Here, chemistry of elements. Our topic is chemistry of elements. Chemistry of elements. In this, we have here chemistry of elements. See this? Chemistry of elements. First one is here hydrogen. Hydrogen and its properties, their isotopes, ortho-para-hydrogen, industrial preparation, heavy water, all these things. And next one, S block and P block elements. Here, so many concept inner pair effect linked boric acid, boron, isn't it? And so many compounds, okay? Fluorocompounds, noble gases, inner halogen compounds, okay? All these things, interhalogen compounds, all these things we'll discuss. And D block elements also we have some important concepts. See that is special properties, color properties, magnetic properties, right? And their oxides, halides, lanthanide contraction, all these things we'll discuss. Clear, right? So that is today's importance. We'll go for here without wasting our time. See this 25 most important questions I prepared for you. So for TGPSC paper to chemistry. So that now we'll go for first question. So hydrogen resembles alkali metals because of. So here actually hydrogen is not having particular group in the periodic table. There is no position in the periodic table. Therefore, hydrogen we can see now sometime in a first A group elements and sometime in a seventh A group elements. Seventh A group elements. Okay, it present in a both group. That is in a first group element and also seventh group elements. Why it has both places? It is also placed in a seventh A group element and first A group elements. That is very important here. That is a question series. Hydrogen resemble alkali metals because why we need to keep in alkali metals? That is first A group elements. Why we need to go for alkali metals? Because it is similar to that of first A group elements like see this is lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, and cesium. These all are having here plus one oxygen states. Plus one oxygen state. And these all are good reducing agents. Good reducing agents. Similarly, our hydrogen also, our enzyme also can form H plus. That is losing of one electron because these all are belongs to first A group elements. So the valence is plus one. Here also hydrogen also resemble first A group elements. And similarly, it is also resemble for seventh A group elements like F minus, H minus, Cl minus. So here it has two positions, first A group element and second, seventh A group elements. But here question is why it is resemble in alkali elements? That is answer is it forms plus one ion. Clear? That is see this. Next one, which isotope of hydrogen is radioactive? Very important. Radioactive means we have here most of the elements now, P block elements and some F block elements, D block elements. Last elements are radioactive. But here hydrogen has three isotopes. Hydrogen has three isotopes. Three isotopes. They are first one is protium. Protium. That is H1 and 1. H1 1. Clear? Next one deuterium. Deuterium. Deuterium means atomic number 1, but here atomic number 1, but here atomic number 1, and here 1 minute. Yes, atomic number one. So I will write again. Isotopes of isotopes of hydrogen. There are three, right? One is called here protium, atomic number one like this. Second one is called here deuterium. Third one is called here tritium. Tritium. So this is tritium. Okay. This is deuterium. Deuterium. This is protium. Protein. So this is last one is radioactive isotope. So that is your answer is tritium is a radioactive isotope. That's it. So this next one heavy water. Heavy water means here see generally H2O we call is normal water. This is and instead of hydrogen this is your protium. This hydrogen is called what? Protium. If you are taking deuterium that is H2 you are taking. For example, you are taking H2 H21 that is deuterium you are taking instead of protium. You are taking deuterium instead of protium. What happened? So here H2O only, but mass is 2. Generally we are writing this is D2O. This is called heavy water. What is meaning of heavy? Heavy means you can take here atomic mass of hydrogen is 1, atomic mass of hydrogen 2, atomic mass of hydrogen 3. So this is the protium, this is deuterium, this is tritium. So compared to this, mass is doubled. Mass is doubled. Therefore, it is heavy. Heavy means more mass. So that is T2O. Clear? That's it. Next one, very important. Ortho-para hydrogens. Most of the cases they are confusing. What is ortho-hydrogen? What is para-hydrogen? So okay, actually they are both are differ with the nuclear spins. Okay, I will explain with the diagram. See this here for you. Yeah. See all of you. This is here. Ortho-hydrogen means see nuclear spin is this is clockwise. This is also clockwise. So this both nuclear planes are parallel, same way, parallel like this. Parallel is there. Therefore, this type of hydrogen is called orthohydrogen. If here nuclear spins are anti-parallel, one is clockwise, another one is anti-clockwise. This type of hydrogen is called what? Para-hydrogen. So that is concept. You tell me, para-hydrogen means parahydrogens, they are differ with the nuclear spin. Clear? Orthohydrogen is a parallel spin. Parahydrogen is anti-parallel spin. That is concept. Clear? That's it. Hydrogen industrially prepared mainly. Yes, it is mainly prepared by using water gas. Water gas. What is the formula of water gas? CO plus H2 is called water gas. By using this water gas, we can prepare here hydrogen gas. That is industrial preparation. Right now, we are preparing this method only. So, we'll see one small equation for this. See, this is carbon monoxide plus water is called what? Water gas. This is water gas. This water gas, now we can, this from the water molecule, one oxygen is replaced. Means this move, here carbon dioxide is formed. Remaining is what? Hydrogen gas. Like this is called here water gas shift reaction. Shift, the oxygen is shift to from water molecule to carbon monoxide. Then we'll get here hydrogen. This is here industrial preparation of hydrogen. Clear? Next one. S and P block elements. S and P block elements concept here. In S and P block elements concept will discuss. So, what are the importance in S and P block elements? So, S block elements and P block elements we know very well. See, S block means 1s and 1s1. That is 1a group elements, right? And 1s2. That is 2a group elements. Combinedly, we call what? S block elements. What are the elements? Here, lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, and francium. These are the first year group elements. Second year group elements: beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium, and radium. These are your secondary group elements. Commonly we call what? S block elements. Commonly we call what? S block elements. What type of question will ask from this? We'll see. Yes, all of you concentrate. See, first question. Alkali metals are stored in kerosene because the general property. Why alkali metals are stored in kerosene? Why should be stored in kerosene? Why not in other substance? That is asking. Okay. Why we need to store in only kerosene? Very, very important question that is. Anybody? Can you comment on this? Why we need to store in kerosene? Because here alkali metals are react with the water and moisture vigorously. They are vigorously react with the moisture and water. Therefore, we cannot react stored in the water, and we cannot store in any other sources outside sources because they are react with the air, that is moisture, vigorously react and form here their bases. Therefore, see, react the air and moisture vigorously. Therefore, we are unable to store in the polar solvent. Therefore, we are selecting non-polar solvent like a kerosene. That is the point. Okay, alkalis are highly reactive with the moisture and the air. Therefore, we may not keep in a water and other sources. We need to keep in a non-polar compounds like kerosene. Clear? Next one. Inert pair effect. Inert pair effect is the most prominent in generally in inert pair effect. Yeah, we can see here. See, third group onwards, you can see this. Third A group, fourth A group, fifth A group, and we can go for sixth A group up to this. Right? Seventh also we can go. Boron, aluminum, gallium, indium, and thallium. Carbon, silicon, germanium, tin, lead. Okay. Nitrogen, phosphorus, arsenic, antimony, bismuth. Here, oxygen, sulfur, selenium, tellurium, and polonium. Up to here, we can discuss here what is what. Here, all of you concentrate. So, these last elements, whatever last elements are there, here, the general electronic configuration of these group elements we know. This is Ns2, Np1, Ns2, Np2, Ns2, Np3, Ns2, Np4. Here, Ns2 electrons of last elements do not participate in chemical bonding. That is called here what? Inert pair effect. So, reluctance of Ns2 electrons in chemical bonding of last elements. Okay, because they have here mercury electronic configuration, that is Hg 80. After 80, whatever electrons are there, this is remaining. So, here Ns2 80 atomic number. NP1 81 like this. So 80 is the mercury. You can see zinc, cadmium, and mercury. These two are second B group elements in a B group. These are your noble gases, the noble elements. We have here NH2. Here we can see 3D10 electronic configuration, 4D10 electronic configuration, 5D10 electronic configuration is present in this all elements. So D10, they are noble metals. So like mercury also, T10 electronic configuration. That is up to here T10. T10. After whatever electrons are there, up to for NH2, they are 80. So this is also noble metal. After whatever electrons are there in p orbital, this will be participating chemical bonding. Therefore, thallium can participate in S1 oxidation state, and lead is participating in S2 oxidation state. Bismuth +3, polonium +4. This is called here inert pair effect. Due to inert pair effect, third group element magnum oxidate +3, but it is possible only +1 because two electrons are not participating. Here +4, but it is +2. Two electrons are not participating. This is +5, but it's participating only +3 because two electrons are not participating. This is +6, but only +4 because two electrons are not participating. This is called here inert pair effect. Not required more than this explanation. Clear? So now tell me, inert pair effect is mostly prominent in carbon, not possible. So this carbon is here, and silicon, not possible. Lead, yes, it is possible. Where is lead? Here is a lead. So lead is possible. Boron, first element, not possible. Those the last elements are having this type of property. Clear, friends? That is concept about this one. Now we'll go for here. Next one is catenation property. Catenation property magnum. Generally, we know everybody. Carbon has more catenation property. Carbon can form long chain and branched chains, right? And cyclic chain, all type of compound. Therefore, highest catenation property carbon. Need not to go for more lengthy explanation. Next one, blue color alkali metals in liquid ammonia. Why alkali metals react with the liquid ammonia and then form what type of compound? Why they are in blue in color? That is very important. Clear? So that is main important is solvated electrons. Solvated electrons are possible when alkali metals are react with the liquid ammonia. We'll see one concept here. See all of you concentrate here. All of you concentrate. See, solution of liquid ammonia. The alkali metals are dissolved in liquid ammonia, giving blue color or deep blue color, which is conducting nature means electrical conductor. Because here the reaction M plus X plus Y NH3 and M NH3 taken and here positive charge plus E electrons NH3 minus. This is called solvated electrons. Ammonia contain solvated electron. This will give you paramagnetic nature and this will give you deep blue color to the solution. So that is why here see this alkali metals are why blue in color means due to solvated electrons. Solvated electron. Your answer is B. Next one. See, boric acid act as. See, boric acid is act as a strong acid, monobasic acid, Lewis acid, or Ennis acid. Actually, it is Lewis acid. Why Lewis acid? What is the structure of boric acid? Means H3BO3. You can draw the structure like this. This contain OH, this contain OH, this contain OH. All are OH only. Why we called acid it is? Means that is a concept here. Actually, boron trihydroxide. This is also similar formula for this. So, H3BO3 or BOS3. These all are formulas for the boric acid. Actually, what is Lewis acid? Yesterday we discussed with some concept about Lewis acid theory. What is Lewis acid? Any compound which can donate lone pair of electron to Lewis base, which can accept the lone pair of electron is Lewis acid. Now here, boron compound is Lewis acid because boric acid accept lone pair of electrons, isn't it? O minus, right? O minus, acceptor of electrons. So we'll see one graphical design here. See this? This is here boric acid. That is H3BO3. H3BO3. What happens when react with the water? Water means H plus OH minus. Right? What happens, this B you can write like this, no? BOH taken 3 also we can write. Yeah. This OH, BOH taken OH, one more OH will be taken. This is lone pair of electron will be taken. Then what happens? BH taken 4 will form. And remaining one H plus will be this H1 will be released. So total solution contain H plus ions. H plus ion contain means acid or base? Yes, it is acid. But here boric acid contain H is not coming out. Boric acid contain OH, H is not coming out. But from the water molecule, that H plus is released. Then from the water molecule, OH is taken. Therefore, anyone which accept the lone pair of electron, that is called Lewis acid. Lewis acid. Therefore, it is boron tetrahydroxide is formed. That is here borate ion. Borate anion. Right? So it will be released H plus ion. Clear, sir? That is the concept. Therefore, boric acid is a weak acid. Weak acid it is, but it is a Lewis acid. Weak acid, Lewis acid. Clear? That is. Next one. Diboron contain. Very important. Diboron contain. Diboron contain what? Ionic bonds? No. Triple bonds? No. Metallic bonds? No. But it is banana bond. We'll see the structure of diboron. Okay, I will show you structure of diboron. See this? This is the structure of diboron. So this Diborane contain hydrogen bridge, that is we can see B2H6 diborane. So here is a one boron, here is a one hydrogen, this is one more hydrogen, this is one more hydrogen, but this is Bijud hydrogen. Bijud hydrogen is formed by this diborane. This bond is called here what? Banana bond. Banana bond. Also we call here tau bond. Also we call what? Tau bond. Also we call what? Three center, three center, two electron bond. So like this, so many names are there for this. Clear? So that is here uh, diborane contain banana bond. Okay, that is next one. Formula of the borazole. Yes, borazole means also we call here borazine, borazine or borazole, borazole or borazine. Both are names. Also we have one more name is inorganic benzene. Inorganic benzene అంటాం inorganic benzene. What is the formula? B3N3H6. Why we call inorganic benzene? Actually, benzene is carbon, carbon, carbon like this bond, carbon, carbon. Here is the bond. Right? Each carbon contain hydrogen here like this. This is benzene, carbon containing. Therefore, it is inorganic. And alternate double bonds. Alternate double bonds. This is the benzene. But our borazine also contains similar B3, B3. Benzene means C6, S6, no? B3, N3, H6. This is clear. So your B3 and 3 both 3 plus 3 6 will get and H6 also there. Clear. How to derive? Boron. Here is a boron, right? Here is a nitrogen, again nitrogen, nitrogen and boron. See, connected, will get here. So each boron and nitrogen contain hydrogens like this. Here, hydrogen. And alternate double bonds are common. So this is do not contain carbon, therefore it is called inorganic benzene. So, okay, it is similar to benzene structure. Okay, see, here. So this is here BH bond length is 120. Here 144. BN bond. So bond angle is 122. Here BN H NH bonding is 102 picometers. Okay. So this is the difference in the structure. This is called here borazole or borazine. Next one, see inorganic benzene also given. Next one is which acid contain phosphorus highest oxidation state? Easily we can find it. Previously first class I explained how to find oxygen state. See here, first one we can test. See first one is I will draw structure directly. Okay. How many oxygens? Two oxygens. Right? How many hydrogens? Total three hydrogens. So we can keep here one hydrogen. We can keep here one hydrogen. We can keep one hydrogen. See this here double bond. So oxygen minus two. I will change the color of the pen. Oxygen minus 2, this oxygen minus 2, hydrogen plus 1, hydrogen plus 1. Now you can calculate how many is that? Plus 1 minus 1 cancel. So minus 2 and here plus 1 will be cancelled. Right? We get here minus 1. So answer is plus 3. This is plus 3. This is plus 3. Therefore this is us acid. Us acid. What is us acid? Okay, phosphorus acid. Next one, H3PO3. We'll take here. H3PO3 means similarly we are taking oxygen, 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 one hydrogen. Clear? This is double bond. Here is a hydrogen. Here is a hydrogen. That is H3PO3. Here minus 2, minus 2, plus 1, plus 1, minus 2, minus, plus 1. So you will get here x is equal to what? Check it out. Minus plus 1 minus 2 plus 1 cancel, right? Remaining here minus 1 plus 1. So we get it. See, again is also plus 3 oxygen state. Okay, right. That is next one, last one. H3PO4. 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 Orthophosphoric acid. This is Also orthophosphorus acid. Orthophosphorus acid it is, right? This is orthophosphoric acid. Phosphoric acid. Ric acid. Your oxidation is plus 3. Your oxidation is plus 5. Is missing. That is 1, 2, 3, 4. How many oxygens? 4 oxygens. So, how many hydrogens? 3 hydrogens. How many hydrogens? 3 hydrogens. Double bond. So, minus 2, plus 1, plus 1, minus 2, minus 2, plus 1. So, totally x is equal to plus 5. That is, ic acid will have higher oxygen share. Us acid we have lower oxygen share. Your answer is S3O4. And one more is there. That is also we'll see. What is that? H2P2, H2P2O7. This is pyrophosphoric acid. Pyro, pyrophosphoric acid. Phosphoric acid. What is pyrophosphoric acid here? See, we have here pyro bond. Pyro bond means like this. Between phosphorus to phosphorus. Remaining is common. Remaining is common. You can keep here oxygens here. Totally 7 oxygens are there. Right? This is double bond. This is double bond. Remaining 2 hydrogens. Here also double bond. Here also double bond. Okay. Totally 5 bonds should be there. Right? So this is here minus 1 oxygen. Share with both. So minus 2, minus 2, minus 2, plus 1. Right? Plus 1, minus 1 cancel. Great. So this is also we have here pyrophosphoric acid. So it will be shared both. Both way we need to share. Next one. We'll go for strongest halogen oxidizing agent. It's very important. Oxidizing agent. Last class we discussed what is oxidizing agent, what is redox based on the SRPs. So fluorine is good oxidizing agent. I'll show you one table for you. So this here is a fluorine. Here is a fluorine. Check it out here, all of you. Here is a fluorine. See, here is a lithium. So lithium is a see strongest reducing agent. It is a strongest oxidizing agent. So fluorine is plus 2.87 SRP standard reduction potential, whereas here lithium is a minus 3.05. So this is here minus values indicate here reducing agent, plus value indicate here oxidizing agents. Therefore, fluorine is a good oxidizing agent. Fluorine, chlorine, isn't it? All are there. But you compare to fluorine, fluorine is a strong oxidizing agent. Clear? That is it. Next one, interhalogen compounds. Interhalogen compound means same group elements are fluorine, chlorine, bromine, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine. Themselves they can interact each. For example, iodine react with the bromine and form here IBr3 like this. Iodine interact the chlorine will form ICl3, ICl5 like this. IF7 like I interact the iodine, I will form IF7. So both are halogens. Such type of compounds are called interhalogen compounds. Example CL3, IF7, so on. Clear? That is. So here noble compound do not form here. Therefore only halogen between halogen to halogen interhalogens are compound. Next one. Which noble gas form maximum compounds? Actually noble gas are zero group elements, isn't it? Helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon. Radon is radioactive element. These all are NS2 NP6 electronic configuration octet electron. But xenon participate in chemical bond and form here xenon react with the fluorine and form xenon difluoride, xenon tetrafluoride, xenon hexafluoride, right? And xenon also participate in a react with the oxygen, xenon trioxide, xenon tetraoxide, a combination of xenon OF4 like this here, oxy fluoride compounds also possible because fluorine electronegativity is 4 Oxygen electronegativity is 3.5. So xenon react with the only most electronegative element like oxygen and fluorine. Therefore, xenon can form only magnesium compounds, but not helium, neon, and argon. That is the concept. Clear? That's it. Next question. Xenon F4 has which geometry? Very important. Geometry, your question is answer is given wrong actually. Geometry is a square planar, tetrahedral. Geometry is a tetrahedral. Is a tetrahedral. Shape is square planar. So I will show you this. See this. See this one. Here, see lone pair of lone pairs. Here lone pairs. Here is a bond pairs. Xenon tetrafluoride. Clear? It is the eighth group. Eighth group means how many bonds? One, two, three, four. Lone pairs. Five, six, seven, eight. So this is it. See sp3 D two hybridization. But here octahedral geometry. This is geometry means with lone pairs. With lone pairs, we can say geometry. Without lone pair, we call here shape. Therefore, here they are asking geometry. Therefore, that is octahedral. Shape asking, that is square planar. Don't forget. This is a given wrong answer. The geometry is here octahedral, not there. Actually, it is octahedral. Clear, students? Octahedral is geometry. Don't forget this. This is question is given wrong. So, okay, question is given wrong. So don't forget. This is very important actually. So you should write here. Should write here. The shape is here. You can write here. Right? They are asking geometry. For example, geometry they are asking. Geometry they are asking. No, it is answer is correct. Shape is asking. That we need to change it. So right here shape. Right here shape here. Shape. Yes. And here shape. Right? Shape is square plane. Clear that. Next one. D block elements concept. D block elements. So transition elements show variable oxygen states. Very very important. Due to means here we have similar energy that is n minus 1 d orbital and both orbital participate in the bonding. And we have here see this actually d block electronic configuration general electronic configuration n minus 1 d 1 to 9 transition elements. Okay, ns 1 to 2. This is a transition elements. General electronic configuration for D block n minus 1, n minus 1, D 1 to 10 completely filled, ns 1 to 2. Okay. Due to this incompletely filled electrons, they will give you variable oxygen states. You see here, I will go for a small table for you. See this scandium missed here, scandium is not there. Scandium, right? Scandium, right? Scandium plus one oxygen sheet, right? And plus three oxygen sheets. Scandium, titanium, plus three also here. Scandium, titanium, vanadium, chromium, manganese, iron, cobalt, nickel, copper, and zinc also will be zinc, right? Zinc will have plus two oxygen sheet. Clear? Sir? So this is here. We can go for here. Variable oxygen sheet means one element will give you more number of oxygen sheet. One element will give you more number of oxygen sheet. That is called here variable oxygen sheets. Highest is magnesium. That's right. Manganese, right? Manganese plus 7, right? Highest is manganese. So that is here one element in this block will give you so many oxygen sheet due to incomplete view electrons. So that is the reason. Now we see which transition element show highest oxidation? Just now we discussed that is plus 7, right? You can see the table form that is plus 7. Highest oxidation state. Okay. Next one. See color of transition elements due to yes, it is also unpaired electron due to unpaired electrons and DD transitions. d orbital to d orbital transitions. Electron transition taking visible radiation. For example, here one electron is there, d orbital. This will be moving higher in this level. It absorbs visible radiation, visible radiation, and when come back to ground state, it exhibit the color. It exhibit the color property. Color property. This is the meaning of DD transition. So these elements are having different color properties. I will show you here. See this. So scandium plus 3, colorless, right? And titanium plus 3, violet color. Vanadium, green color. Chromium, violet color. Manganese, pink color. Iron, green color. Cobalt, pink color. Nickel, green color. Copper plus 2, Zn plus 2, colorless. Any compound we have here, D0, D10, they are colorless. They are colorless. For example, you can take scandium, given plus 3. Scandium atomic number 21, right? We can write here 4s3d. So this 4s2 3d1 plus 3 we can remove. Plus 3 means 2 electron from s orbital, 1 electron from p orbital. What will guess? 0. So that is d0. D0 means colorless like this. Okay. Zinc also we can take zinc plus 2. Zinc atomic number 30. Keep alive 4s2 3d0. Right? We can bring one here logically. We'll get here 4s2 3d10 is electronic configuration of zinc. Now we can remove 2 electrons from this s circle. D10. D10 means colorless. D10 means what? Colorless. Like this, you can find the which is color, which is not a color. Right? That is it. So that your answer is why they are a DD transition. Yes, ma'am. Now, which ion is colorless? Just now this. Tell me what is this? G plus two is colorless. Next, that is due to completely filled reactor. Lanthanide contraction is caused by, yes, very important. That is due to poor shielding of 4 electrons and ineffective shielding decreases atomic size. What is lanthanide contraction? Lanthanide contraction means from the lanthanides, along the lanthanides, from left to right, along the lanthanides, with increasing of atomic number, atomic size decreases due to poor shielding of 4f orbital. Similarly, I will show you one clear information about periodic table. You can see this is here lanthanides. So from lanthanum to lutetium, so see this lanthanum to lutetium, you can go for here 57, atomic number 57 to atomic number 71. From lanthanum to cerium, promethium, neodymium, like this here, when we are coming like this here to here, whatever you know, whatever you know, from here to here, atomic sizes are decreases. So atomic size is so on decreases like this. But atomic numbers are increases, but atomic size are decreases due to poor shielding effect. That is called here lanthanide contraction. You can see lanthanide contraction is successive decreasing of ionic radius plus that due to poor shielding of 6s electron and 4f electrons. So, for example, you can say lanthanum in picometers 104, 103. See, lutetium 86. So, this is big size, this is small size. So, like this, the decreasing of atomic sizes along the lanthanides is known as lanthanide contraction. That is due to poor shielding of body part. Okay. Next one, which element shows maximum magnetic behavior? Right? Just now we discussed again Mn plus 2. Here Mn plus 2. Mn has a maximum unpaired electron, therefore it is. For example, Mn you can take Mn atomic number 25, keep it aligned. You can write here 4s2 3d5. Right? See how many unpaired electrons? 5 unpaired electrons. 5 unpaired electrons means 5 unpaired electrons. Isn't it? 5 unpaired electron means magnetic value is 5.87 or like this. It's very close. For example, any compound contain one unpaired electron, that is D1 1.732. Any one it contains two electron 0.828384 boron magnets like this here D3, right, 3.828384. If 4 are there, D4 are there, right, D4 are there, that is 4.828384. 5 are there, already given 5 are there, 5.828788 up to 5.90. For example, 6 are there, D6 is equal to D4, D7 is equal to D3, and D8 is equal to D2, and D9 is equal to D1, D9, D10 equal to D0, Like this, we get the magnetic properties. Yeah, I will show you that one here. See this scandium D0, right? 0. So here titanium 100 electron 1.72, D2 2.81, D3, like this will be the highest minus plus 2, right? That is the concept. Clear? Yeah. See this next one. We'll go for this. Yeah. K1 act as a reducing agent, oxidizing agent, catalyst only, base only. Yesterday we discussed this good oxidizing agent. Here there is a plus 7 oxygen share. That is plus 7 oxygen share here. KMnO4 2 Mn plus 2. So this is plus 7 to plus 2. So this is what? Addition of electrons. Addition of electron. Plus 7 to plus 2 means what? Addition of electron. Addition of electron means what? Reduction. Right? The reduction is nothing but here oxidizing agent. Oxidizing agent. Oxidizing agent. Here, yesterday we discussed any reaction is undergo reduction, that is oxidizing agent. So for this purpose, I will give you one information for you. See this. Yeah, oxidizing properties of KMnO4. KMnO4. See this. See, KMnO4 is that is a powerful oxidizing agent in acidic medium, neutral and alkaline medium. See, this is an acidic medium. 2 KMnO4 plus acidic medium will get here KMnO4 plus 2 oxygen should be formed. That is just noise. Undergo reduction. That is good oxidizing agent. Neutral or alkyl medium, KMnO4 react with neutral means water, right? In presence of base alkali medium, we get here plus 4 oxygen share. So here plus 7 to plus 4. Here plus 7 to plus 2. Both are here undergo reduction only. Reduction means it will act as a good oxidizing agent. That's it. Clear? Over. Next one. Next one is which transition elements green color? Yeah, this is a typically generally the compound we have here. The green color is potassium trioxide, dichromate. Okay. Dichromate. That is here potassium dichromate. Here this is what here Cr2O3, right? Chromium trioxide. That chromium trioxide is a green in color. I will show you one diagram. This is a nature of Cr2O3. Green in color, right? Green in color. This is clearly green in color, right? That is next one. See, that's it. 25 questions are completed. Now we give a quick revision for you. Very important points. Quick revision for you. See this. What is heavy water? Already diboron, banana numbers. Xenon, square planar is what is it? Shape is shape. Geometry is octoid, right? Highest magnitude plus 7. Zinc colorless. Lanthanide contraction. Poor shielding of variable. F2 is a strong, that is plus 2.87 SRP. Don't forget. And carbon is magnum hydrogen property. This is today's class. And don't forget to subscribe my channel while coming again with a new video. Thank you very much.